So I'd like to welcome you back to another helmet cam, this time on Crown Talisman, and we are at the Jersey Fresh CCI 2-star. Again on cross country here. Earlier in the morning, you can see the sun is still a little low but in the sky, which means coming out onto this course, you're going to have to be maybe a hair more careful than you would at noontime or later on in the day. And that a lot of these jumps, if they're heading directly into the sun, you're going to have a shadow on the near side. So just going to spend a little extra time on a couple of those to make sure that we get there right and the horses can have enough time to read it and jump it correctly. Tali's a great horse, and I think he's going to have a very, very sort of exciting future coming forward. He's an 8-year-old now. He's started with us basically from the very beginning. He came doing sort of walk trot, a tiny bit of canter, and he's progressed throughout. He won the AECs for prelim, the American Eventing Championships for prelim. He was also second for Horse of the Year 2 years ago. He had a random injury last year that put him out for pretty much the entire season. He hit a jump and ended up hitting his stifle just right on it, that it ended up ripping one of the ligaments off his kneecap, which very painful, and we got very, very lucky that as it pulled off, it pulled some fragments of bone off, but everything went outside of the joint. So he went in, had some surgery, and did the stem cell treatment. And thanks again to SpectraVet, is one of our sponsors, has a medical laser that we use on it religiously. So all in all, he's really no worse for the wear. He doesn't carry any fluid in the joint, and certainly doesn't seem to be any weaker because of it. So it's exciting to have him back. He's owned by Larry and Amelia Ross and myself. And let's go and head out here. So as you can see, just checking the watch, and then we're out. First couple jumps, as we've sort of specified in a couple of these other videos, is that you're just trying to establish a rhythm so that you want to set the stage and, again, don't get behind the clock too early. The nice thing here, if you're smart about it when walking these courses, is that a lot of it is rope, but a lot of it is actually left open. So you have a little bit more creativity in how you get from one fence to another. And if you've got a really honest, quick horse, which Tali is, it allows you to take a shorter line, allows you to probably go a little bit slower, your average speed, because you're covering less distance than what they had wheeled when they laid this course out. So I'll point those out as we get going. So first two fences there on the left that we just passed is Brian O'Connor, and that's all the announcing and control. And we are coming up to the third. It's just a bit strange having that tree right in front of it. Didn't have a good shot, and it wasn't terribly big, so it doesn't tend to set the horses back. So I got a little bit underneath that, but we got a good shot at here. After this coop or little house that we're coming up to, we're going to hang a right and go to the first combination of the course, and it's a one stride. It's a log one stride into quite a significant drop. So you just want to make sure you've got him back and balanced here, and he just jumps through here, no problem whatsoever. So coming up here is the first of the water complexes, and it's pretty early in the course. The first is a roll top. You're going to have to ride quite strong, because you'll see there's quite a few people right around the complex itself. Rode quite strong into it, and as soon as we get in here, I'll try and pause it for you. Give a little freeze frame. So you can see there's people obviously surrounding it. With a younger horse, it's quite a lot to look at. So you can see 7A is a house, and we're in the water. So being able to jump in the water, it requires maybe a bit more energy, a bit more leg. You want to be able to jump that on a sort of a more powerful forward feel to it. And then it's going to be a steady 4 strides to an angled brush, and it may be hard to tell from here, but the brush is scalloped. It's quite high on the right side, and then it goes down into nothing on the left. So we'll start it up again. Get a good shot at the house, and then open up the right rein a bit, sit back, and it jumps out really well. So I was happy. The nice thing with the CCI course is that you had that first as your first water jump. The second one, as we come back into that same complex, is quite a big drop down in. So this is nice that you had a roll top, sort of a kinder profile to get in, and then you had just a long shot. You could actually get into the water, get their feet wet the first time. It's a good galloping fence, and I was pretty happy with myself. I generally end up overriding those, and that I was able to just kind of keep a good flow and let them come all the way up to the jump. So coming through the gap here, you can see through the shadows, and coming up here, this is one of those spots where you can start to pick your own line. It's a scalloped out fence. What you're coming up to here, it's on the high side is on the left, and it scallops down to nothing on the right. He's very good with accuracy type questions, so I didn't have to take too much time to set it up. and it did actually have a drop in the landing. The course here actually continued straight on the mode path that's off to your right. You can quite hardly see it. Most people would have gone outside of this oxer that you'll see that I'm going to come to the inside of, to the left of. And we've got a coffin here. So I'll pause it again so you can get an idea. So the coffin is a log, I think it's 2 strides to the ditch and then 1 stride on the out. With a less experienced horse or one that's not quite as quick on his feet, I probably would have gone to the outside of that oxer, giving yourself a longer time for him to process what's happening here. The nice thing is that really he's very quick on his feet, and so we can take a little bit shorter line, doesn't need quite as much time to set up for it, and he's going to jump the first. You just want to sit back. It's hard to tell the profile there, but see the ground actually does drop away more than you would probably expect. So jump on through here, you got the 2 to the 1. It jumps out really well. So this is a spot where we cut a corner here. The course actually tracks maybe 2 gaps over to the right. So you can see, you'll see a mode path as we continue up here that ends up joining the track that I'm on. By saving this bit of space, it's ultimately it's saving distance and therefore saving your horse. So if you can be a little bit careful and make sure that obviously the footing in the unmowed section is good, but if you can pick a path that's a little bit shorter, it's going to make your whole process throughout the course easier on him, and he should also recover a little bit quicker. So we've got a good fly fence here, and again we'll make a little shortcut. We're going to hang a hard right here. You can see the mode path continues straight. We're going to cut across. Head up, there's 2 trees just before this roll top, which may actually be the biggest fence on the course, or pretty close to it. Going to wrap right to the outside of this tree, and it is up a pretty good grade, so it's deceiving here on the video. Didn't jump that actually particularly well, and maybe it's because of the uphill or whatever, but instantly I'm going to try and send him forward, get him again more energetic, because this is another roll top, similar jump, but actually lands in quite a steep downgrade. So I want to get a very good, powerful, energetic jump right at the base, so he jumps around it as he did there. Continue down, and we've got a skinny on the way out here. So coming up, we've got a skinny jump, sorry, not a skinny jump, but a fly jump, just a bench, and then we're head right back down into they call it the Jersey Shore, which is that water complex. The complex this way is actually quite a big drop down in over a log, and then you've got 4 or 5 strides to a house, and I had planned on the 4, and then around left-handed to bounce on the way out. So we're coming up here, we've got a good shot at the bench. He actually lands, I didn't realize how much of a drop that was going to be. He lands and actually pulled us farther to the left than I wanted to be. But let him cruise down the hill, and then at this point, try and bring him back. So you want to be able to get to the jump with a lot of power, but not a ton of speed. So lots of energy. Sit way, way back. He lands in a little heap, so I went for 5 strides instead of the 4. Yep, turn, eyes up on the bank, and now right forward on the way out to the bounce bank. Another spot, we're going to cut a corner here. Instead of going straight, I'm going to hang a quick left. Right through the gap here, and then right out sort of the way that we came back in. Our next jump is to the right of the tractor that you can see ahead of you, and you can see the path that we should have been on is far on the right here. So it actually set up really well, nice bend into it, and you get a good jump. Now we continue on, and this is the first spot on the course that I actually was thinking, well, he may actually start to be getting a little bit tired. Went to put my leg on him, most of the time he just kind of bolts forward, and this time we put my leg on, it was just kind of a progressive thing. So it's one of these things throughout these longer courses, this being 9 minutes, it's just important to keep an eye and get a good handle on where your horse is and how he's feeling at the moment. Being that he's starting to get a little tired, I'm going to let him progressively sort of ramp up and down. You want to try and avoid making any sort of quick changes in pace. If you're trying to stop him real quick and go real quick, it's going to waste a lot of time, and a lot of energy on his part. So we try and make everything sort of flow. Now we've got important here, he's got a nice forward jump up this, because he's got 3 strides to a corner, jumps a little flat, lots of leg, open the right rein, and then we head straight up this hill, what they were calling this cardiac hill or cardiac mountain, and appropriately named, because again this is deceiving how steep this is, but it's progressive, it gets steeper here, and the moment we get in the shade it actually really goes up. And poor pony got to the top of this and he nearly drops to a trot. And luckily we've got a lot of hills at home that we've been doing our conditioning on. The nice thing though, the moment he sees the jump on the way down, again, energy's there, give him this little tap and cluck, and then just hands down and forward steady. You don't want to end up pulling on this real steep downhill, because you'll end up running out at the skinny there. So we got a nice long pull down the hill here, give him a pat, and now we can start to make up some time. I've got a tricaner here. This is maybe one of the, again, the bigger fences on the course, and I saw a good one from a ways out, and he made a big jump at it. You'll see that. So then up here, and again, you just want to be in balance, but keep your leg on. It's a nice, good one. Got a great jump there. And continue on with a little history. The next thing coming up here is a keyhole. It's got a roof on it. And at his first 1-star a year and a half ago, I nearly fell at the first fence, and it had one of these on top. So horses tend to sometimes duck, and so I had to build one of these at home. You'll see him pin his ears and kind of drop his head as he jumps through. So we actually built one of those at home so we could just practice going through a smaller gap, a smaller opening, so we learned to jump them well. I'm going to duck right into the woods here, and this is either a 5 or a 6 stride line, and I had planned on the 5 initially. And coming through the gap here, he's starting to get a little tired, so they're going to be slower to respond. And he gets a quiet jump in, so immediately I just said, okay, well, we're going to steady 2, 3, 5, 6 strides right into the corner. With those accuracy questions, again, you're going to open your rein to the wide side, because they're going to tend to always drift towards the narrower the point end of it. You can see, checking my watch, and see I'm actually just a hair ahead of the clock at this point, which is comforting. We've got 3 more jumps left, 1 more combination that I'm going to have to slow down for. So just wanted to make sure, keep coming forward, get a good distance at here. Again, try not to make any drastic movements forward or back. We're going to go right inside this driving hazard, which of course ran to the outside. We've got 2 strides in this little combination here. And check the watch again just to make sure. I know I'm in good shape at this point. And head on, this is the last jump, and after the last, you'll see, check it one more time, make sure we're still in good shape. Made the time, I think, by 7 seconds, but at this point I just kind of let off and then coast through the finish line because we know we're in good shape. There's no reason to, really do any more than you have to do. So we come back down to a trot here, and you can see our crew's coming out to help out, and he's a very good pony. So I'm popping out my air vest there, because the last thing you want to do is jump off and blow yourself up in the process. Got that undone, and hop off, roll the stirrups up. And you see Michelle's taking the bridle off. Very good. And the vet's already there. Good. So in these competitions, again, we give them a big pat. These competitions, you have a vet crew comes right away and takes a pulse, temperature, respiration, gets a instant gauge of where they're at in their sort of the medical status at that point. I'm going to take them, you probably can't see from here, but there's a vet boxer to start cool them down. We've got ice water, and you can try and drop their temperature as quick as you can. They'll come in.
Yeah, Michelle, come on.
You have any questions about the video or training of your horse, clinics, lessons, any of that, click on over to dpequestrian.com for more information.